How is it not illegal to offer work from home for employees? Take it away. The fire employees who now live too far away. Because all but one state I think in the US are at will employment. Therefore, they can fire you because you don't live close enough to come into the office. Because there isn't a law against it. Everything is perfectly legal until there's a law saying it's illegal. If there's no law against it, then it's legal. Plus it's same situation when company move across the state and you can't move, then they administrating firing you. You still entitled to full unemployment benefits. Your employer can fire you for almost any reason, and you can quit for any reason. It's a two-way street. If your employer wants you to come back to the office, and you refuse, they can fire you for it. Nothing illegal about that. Because employers can fire people for any reason they want, besides particular protected classes like race, sex, religion, and in some places sexual orientation. Wants to live in the countryside is not one of those. Work from home is a location, not your job. The employer can change your location. I do not think it's fair, but it's no different than employers moving an employee from one office to a different office location. Employers have no obligation to employ anyone in the US. They can fire you for wearing ugly sweaters. There's a few protections that prevent discrimination of protected classes and laws against retaliation firings, but that's pretty much it. What law would that violate? The law would be more likely to just make companies never try remote work in the first place. Because there isn't a law, and nowadays 99 of laws that favor corporate interests over regular folks end up being passed. It's a pretty shitty thing to do, but business is ruthless, layoffs have been insane and times are rough for many. A big part of it is due to corporate real estate. Another part is a way to soft lay off employees since companies are sticking to the tried and true instead of anything new, experimental or additional due to the current ridiculous interest rates. I wish it was illegal, but one man and Americans aren't very united right now, so the odds of us getting together and putting on any pressure like the dockworkers is slim to none. It's not necessarily a contractual change. If it's not, moving away was simply a stupid move without consulting with your employer and formalizing the move. I got my office as home written in my contract, with no contradictory clauses. I go into the office as and when needed, which could be a variety of places. But it means I can live where I want, and my travel costs are reimbursed. It's simply an oversight on the employee's behalf here not to get this legally binding. Because the employer has every right to determine what they need from an employee. An employee has the right to accept or quit. Same way my father worked for Zenith for years in Chicago. Then they moved the plant to Mexico. His job's still there, in Mexico, if he wants it. Otherwise, he's fired. How is it not illegal? Because nobody made a law. And the laws that apply would only be the ones within the state that the company is incorporated in or operates out of. Because that's capitalism, baby. In most states you can be fired simply because they want to. But that also means you can quit for whatever reason you want and when you want. Crazy, because the same company that fires on a random basis will turn around and cry about their turnover being high and no one is giving 2-week notices anymore. Because it's not illegal to fire people for no reason. Except the illegal reasons. At will employment it benefits the employer far more than it benefits the employee. The only two real options around it are creating a union or getting a company to give you a contract that doesn't allow them to change work location without some form of compensation for the change. Because WFH is fairly new and the laws haven't caught up yet. Also, you didn't ask if the position would remain remote permanently moved away and don't want to go into the office? You were canned for such? Seems like common sense to me. Maybe I'm assuming incorrectly. Womp womp. Unfortunately, who moves away from a job? Lol, this should been expected.